Good afternoon, guys. It's great to see all of you here, and we are here to talk about the Cosmopolitan Consumer. And with me is we have two speakers today: Juliana Lam from INNOTIER and Faisal Sultan from Lucid Motors. We're going to be talking about how luxury brands connect with their consumer, how the next generation transcends cultural boundaries and traditional notions of status. Before we begin, let's start with Juliana. You run a company that is in retail technology fashion. Tell us, who is your target consumer, and how do you build a lasting relevance with them?
Sure. It's been a very blessing 3 years. You know, INNOTIER was born in the middle of COVID. We save a lot of education resources because everybody care for their hygiene. So to answer your question, our target audience are those who, first of all, care for sustainability. Second, they care for hygiene. And the third is care for fashion and lifestyle.
So it's amazing because Juliana told me that the clothes that she is wearing is anti-COVID. So if you touch it, wear it. She's never caught COVID in the last 4 years. So that's something that we can all look into. Faisal, the question to you, of course, so you're the managing director in Middle East of a luxury EV maker. Who are you guys after? In terms of luxury EVs, the penetration, the uptake of EVs, how's that going?
So, well, actually, thank you for having me here. The world is changing, and then definitely we, at Lucid Motors, know that the consumer is also looking to have solutions, and it's not just in clothing. It's not just in other goods. Transportation, the same thing is happening. They want to have an option which provides them to sit in a vehicle that gives them how they feel, So they want an accelerating vehicle that is exciting to drive, but also have the unique features that define a luxury vehicle that could be personalized. And at the same time, going back to what was just repeated, is to give sustainable solution. So no longer do you have to, drive a car that is sustainable, but at the same time, you don't have a luxury product. So that's how we connected, and we found our place, in the ecosystem to provide that solution.
Millennials now are after experiences. How does your brand, Lucid, distinguish itself? Can you share some of the showcase?
Yeah, so I believe, you have to know the consumer. And as you said, millennials are much different than the older generations, right? So they're more dependent on influencers, they're more dependent on customization, they're more dependent on ease of ordering product, they don't want to waste a lot of time, they're much informed. So, they do their research, and they're almost sold, just by doing their research and what's out there. So I think based on that, you have to modify how you market, and you also have to modify, your systems, how they can come and order the product and be connected with it. So I think those are the key elements that we have incorporated into our marketing, into our ordering systems, and also the messages, the key messages that go out to them so that they can personally connect.
In terms of technology and fashion, and when you merge the two together, is the millennial audience the ones that you're targeting?
Oh, absolutely. I think millennials, or basically a lot of people after the last 3 years, they care for value. How does the purchasing behavior changed from getting value on every of their purchase? I'm sure including your EV, or including any fashion, or basically anything you purchase, even food. So I think a lot of things people pay attention on marketing, but nowadays we call it social media. People care about the story, how the founder built the whole whatever, and how the audience live with it in a story way. So I just think that everybody now have a mobile phone, and it's just a button to find out a lot of information. So through story and through the transparency, I think millennial and Gen Z are all looking for this kind of platform. We've got kids coming to us from a famous local international school. They said, hey, do you think we can work with you, INNOTIER, they're a teenager, okay, that we can build some sustainable program to persuade back the school to focus more on sustainability? That's what we have been experiencing in the last 3 years, and I was very, very encouraged that Gen Z or their parents will be affected, and let's build impact altogether.
Now, as we talk about millennials, so taking a lot more pictures, all of us are, with the use of smartphones. And in my day, they were called role models. Now, it's an influencer. Here in Hong Kong, we call them KOLs, or key opinion leaders. How do these influencers help you to capture your audience or inspire your luxury strategy?
Well, for us, we provide them not just emotional value, but we also provide data. Well, people talk about ESG, and you don't just leave your room and turn off the light, that's it, right? You want to actually know how much I save in terms of, let's say, carbon footprint. So what we do is when we see aroused interest from Gen Z or millennials on their social media coming to us, we would go back to them, hey, did you know how much carbon footprint that you have saved by doing something like that? Sometimes it does not have to relate to our product. It can be something in their daily life. So I think education is us like a brand that we feel that it's very important, that we honestly don't want to just be a commercial brand, but a brand that has a commercial business with purpose at the same time. So I feel that the interaction and the two-way communication is how it brought INNOTIER to these 3 amazing years.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think there's the influencers or key opinion leaders. I think they've got a connection to a certain market, and I think we need to utilize that to take our key messages with the data that we have, because it's a two-way street. At the end of the day, you're not utilizing them just to make a sale, but also at the same time, you're trying to educate the public and change the public opinion. In our case, a lot of the people do not know that lithium that is used in the batteries can be recycled multiple times and have a multiple usage. So that is a concern that is out there, and we can address it through having an influencer who can just put that key message out there that the electric batteries can go and be used in another application, and they have a 30, 40-year lifetime. So please do not worry about, landfills. So I think, utilizing that connection, not just to make a sale, but also educating, I think is a key message.
Well, talking about that, let me add a point that when we work with different people, we also actually look into their profile too. It's not just being an audience, you look at a brand's profile. We also want to know whether the person is a real care for sustainability person. If not, honestly, the way to work together would be a very short-term one.
Yeah.
So we rather spend longer chatting, to have a longer-term relationship. I think that's important.
You guys talk about sustainability, and it brings me exactly to my next question. How concerned is this modern consumer about the social impact of their purchases, Faisal, including fair worker treatment, like what we saw with the strike, the UAW strike? How concerned are the buyers about how much the workers are paid?
Yeah, I think those are all important points. I think the consumer, Gen Z and millennials, are very much interested in that. I think there has been many surveys done. 70% of Gen Z and millennials, who are actually 85% of the luxury brand buyers, are very concerned about inclusiveness, about fairness, about sustainability, creativity. So, the definition of a luxury good really has changed with these two gens, right? They're defining that not only can you come to us and sell us, what we want at we'll pay you a higher price. 22% of them said, we will pay you a much higher price as long as you are giving and practicing these social and environmental policies.
Yeah, on us, we have a brand, but we also own 100% of our manufacturing. So at that part, I actually am very happy that people will look into our manufacturing facility, whether it has all the human rights and complying with a lot of global standard. I think millennials or Gen Z now, they do care, and they are very much into sustainability, not just on the brand marketing, but also on the make. So that also make me very pleased about how they wanted to know more about the whole supply chain.
Now, Estelle McCartney at COP28 speaking to CNBC, Juliana, this is about the fashion industry, and she said that there's no targets or regulations on emissions. Fashion and fast fashion is a very heavy polluting industry. Are consumers aware of this, and what are the considerations that manufacturers and retailers are having with this?
Yeah. It all starts from the beginning, if you ask me. It's not just about a brand on promotion, but how you do your sourcing of material, your product development in terms of how it become a very human-centric and user-friendly product. I think it's the whole thing. So we all also at the same time should have to pay attention on how much you consume. Do we still go back to the old way where we buy 5 color in a way, at one purchase, or you just buy 1 or 2, but it lasts for longer, better quality, and the message on helping the planet? I think there can be a lot of saying regarding fast fashion, but the world has changed already. I mean, can we avoid the new normal? I don't think so. So let's be the new necessity. This is what we do. So, but what big difference of what we do is that we added in not just sustainability or fashion, but on the protection. I mean, let's not be naive that there's zero bacteria or hygiene. Bacteria or virus out there. But if we can protect ourselves at crowded area with proactive material that can defeat virus and bacteria, I think instead of dumping the one-time disposable product, let's say mask, you can still protect yourself by reusing what you have bought, and by at the same time loving yourself and loving the planet. I think that's the whole message that we want to send out.
Faisal, we have to ask about artificial intelligence because that has been such a mega trend this year. To understand your consumer, are you guys tracking or analyzing this data? What role does technology play here in order for you to evaluate your target audience?
Yeah, I think, look, AI is here, and I think the usages and the use cases are going to be developed, and I think it's going to impact all industries. There is no question about it. Transportation, electric vehicles, yes, definitely. We're looking at the data. We're looking at the use cases. I think what you're going to see is, the cars were becoming already a personal assistant of yours because of all the smart connectivity. AI is just going to take it to a different level where you could actually be driving with autonomous soon, and AI will do a lot of the analysis and the work for you while you're driving. So you could do many tasks that couldn't be done before. You could create reports while you're driving a car and go home and your printer has the report already printed for you, or you could 3D print something by just some voice commands to your car. So I think there's many use cases, and I think you will see a great revolution happening in the next few years where these user cases are going to be implemented within the vehicles.
Yeah, that's right. This week I was reporting about a Chinese car company, Juliana, that is going to be integrating robotics and artificial intelligence to cut their workforce by 30% by 2027. In terms of the fashion industry, how does AI, where does it penetrate into your industry?
Well, first of all, our setup is already so untraditional. Let's say a huge brand, let's not name the brand, those that has more seasons in a year, probably you have like 6 seasons a year. But for us, we're already having 24 seasons a year. But by also doing less in terms of one single order, by less inventory, but faster penetration, I think speed to market is very, very important. If we always stick with our industry, let's say fashion, and you go back to, oh, I want huge orders, I want 1 million pieces per style, I mean, it's not going to work. But instead, if you bring that into your DNA and to actually plan smaller pilot orders so that people would not bump into each other in the same outfit at the same angle, and faster to the market. I mean, yeah, why not, right?
Thank you very much, Juliana and Faisal, for joining us today, and thank you to the audience for joining us and having your company. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.